Imagine coming into a game and we say, here, take the ball 20 times on offense before we get an offensive possession. Everybody gonna lose that. You get what I'm saying? So that's what it felt like the game was today.
Okay, Jay Will, tell me this. Is this more about Kyrie's absence or Milwaukee?
Well, I think last night's game was about Milwaukee. Milwaukee punished them on the boards. You just heard KD talk about this. They gave up a countless number of offensive rebounds. I think Kyrie being on the floor would mask a lot of those issues for the Brooklyn Nets. But don't get things twisted at all. The Brooklyn Nets can still win the Eastern Conference with just Kevin Durant and James Harden. James Harden did not have a good game last night. Joe Harris.
Second half.
We're still looking for Joe Harris from last year when he shrunk when they got there, right, against Milwaukee. So Joe Harris still needs to shoot the ball well. And the big question, Stephen A., everybody talked about how loaded and the depth that they had on their bench. Paul Millsap and LaMarcus Aldridge didn't look like they belonged on the floor last night.
That's true.
So Patty Mills played well, but those questions around their depth are things that they need to address. Once again, not going to blow things out of proportion against the defending champs, a team in which everybody understood their roles. They know who they are. They've been in the gauntlet before, as opposed to a team that's trying to figure out what their new chemistry is in the Nets.
Before I get into my point, because I disagree with you, I think it was a lot about the Nets, and I'll explain in a minute. But I want to say this about Giannis Antetokounmpo, and I don't say this very, very often. And one of the things I'm going to say I never have said. This dude, the thing that I'll say there is that Kobe Bryant is smiling down on a guy like Giannis Antetokounmpo. This is a brother that is a two-time league MVP, an NBA Finals MVP, a Defensive Player of the Year, fresh off of averaging 30, 10, and 5 on 50% shooting. The only player in NBA history to have done that. And this brother's playing like, I have nothing. He celebrated the ring ceremony, got the ring, shed a few tears. He was emotional or whatever. Then it was time to get to work because that was last year. Now I got something new to accomplish. When we talk about rooting for people and admiring and revering champions, that's what we're talking about right there. That's somebody that you look at and you go like this, he will never cheat the game.
To me, that's the immigrant mentality.
Yes,
I'm
sir.
just saying. My father said that to me one time. He's
Yes.
like, you think you work hard, you don't know the immigrant mentality.
Right. Yeah.
You don't know what it's like.
Yeah.
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 It's a different mindset.
It's a different mindset, and he has it.
Yeah.
Clearly, Kyrie doesn't. And that's where I'm going. Because let me be very, very clear. Let me be very, very clear. When I say that Kyrie Irving doesn't want to work, I don't mean lazy. I don't mean that. I don't mean he's not working hard. I don't mean he's not working on this game. By the way, people making noise about him video and, the playing the football or whatever. No, it was a bad optics, but I don't care. I mean, please, whatever. Get in shape. Do whatever you got to do to get in shape. I know that Kyrie Irving is going to be in shape, ready to ball and all of this other stuff. What I mean is he wants to do what he wants to do, when he wants to do it, on his clock. Remember, according to Kyrie Irving, they didn't need a coach. They need a coach. I never forgot that, Jay. Steve, that don't matter who the coach is. We're going to be just fine.
He later backtracked.
We don't need it. Yeah, yes. because people recognize how offensive that was to Steve Nash. And he didn't mean to be offensive, but he did mean what he said. Like, he's that confident, we don't need a coach.
Sure,
you understand what I'm saying? And it came up that way. That's my point. And I'm watching last night, and I can't help but harken back to when they were up by 49 on Milwaukee. In a playoff game, they were up by 49. I'm just running them out of the building, okay? And if Kyrie doesn't get hurt, we might have never seen Giannis drop 50 in a closeout game 6 in the NBA Finals. Kyrie is that special of a talent. And I'm sitting there looking at them last night, and I'm like, damn. All this noise that's been going on all of these weeks leading into game 1. I'm looking at Harden with a strong first half, not a strong second half. You pointed out how Joe Harris couldn't be found. Blake Griffin, he played 22 minutes, only had 6 points. LaMarcus Aldridge and Paul Millsap didn't be there. But Patty Mills, 7 for 7 from three-point range. Lighten it up.
Yep.
Off the bench, 21 points, 7 for 7 from three-point range. When Harden couldn't get anything going in the second half. If Kyrie was there, you stopping both of them? You ain't stopping both of them. Somebody gonna put on a show. Somebody gonna help KD out, okay? And if it wasn't hard, it would have been Kyrie. So I get it's the first game of the season. It's no big deal or whatever. But all I'm saying is bringing up Kyrie is that I found myself looking at them and I'm like, damn.
What if?
What if? If Kyrie were there, it wouldn't have been lopsided. It wouldn't have been like this. Now, everybody gonna talk about, you ain't gonna stop Giannis. So what? So what? You ain't stopping KD either, okay? KD gonna get his. But in the end, Giannis got help. He got a team that's locked in, on the same page as him, focused, no ulterior motives, no different agenda. It's one. And they're all aligned together, and they follow his lead. And that is the difference that you see in the Milwaukee Bucks compared to the Brooklyn Nets last night.
When you say follow his lead, what do you mean?
I'm just saying.
I know, but give me another layer.
He's the leader of the team.
I just feel like you're talking about a different time.
Mm-hmm.
I think everybody will follow Kevin Durant's lead, but this has nothing to do with Kevin Durant's lead. I agree with you. This narrative is always going to follow the Brooklyn Nets, Stephen A.
Okay.
We're always going to wonder, what if?
Mm-hmm.
But when you start saying, like, everybody's on the same page and everybody follows the lead of Giannis, and this is why this team is great, I'm like, well, this is an unprecedented issue. Like, Kyrie would follow the lead of Kevin Durant if he were not put where he had to make a decision like that, where it was mandated.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.